Hey guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. I wanted to make a quick video tonight. It's around 8:30 p.m. President Trump is supposed to speak soon to the nation. I watched it earlier today when I guess he met with bankers and financial people from across the country, from different banks, and he had a press conference with them. I caught some of that, and they were talking then about some of the things he was gonna announce tonight. So we'll see what he talks about tonight. But in looking at the headlines, before I get to some of the headlines, I just wanted to update you guys on our travels. We're here in Virginia, and we were supposed to start my wife's radiation treatment. Today, in fact, was supposed to be our first appointment at 2 o'clock. They canceled it. Johns Hopkins Hospital canceled it. They said her setup wasn't 100% ready yet. When they set up the radiation beam, how it was going to hit, and all the other stuff that goes behind the scenes was not ready. So they kind of caught us by surprise with that. It was supposed to be rescheduled for this Friday. Which then today we went out to lunch earlier, and they called her while we were out to lunch, and they said her first session's actually tomorrow. So tomorrow at I believe it's at 1 o'clock. So we will we're about just under, I would say, 25 miles from the hospital. We're staying here in Virginia, and it picked a great time to travel. It seems like the country's falling apart. Things are closing down. People are afraid to go everywhere. So it's amazing that you're a prepper, and most of my plans for SHTF are to be home, hunker down with the family, all together. And it goes to show you that when SHTF happens, you could be anywhere. So here I am, from 6 hours plus from the Charlotte area. Find myself in Virginia, but the good thing here in Virginia is I do have some contacts here close by, and some family and some friends that if something did happen, we can count on them to help us out. But again, away from all that I put together is not a good feeling. I mean, you're only able to bring so much with you in a car. I don't even have my van with me. I had to take the car. So there's only so much stuff you could pack. So think about that, guys, when you're prepping, where you may be or where you might end up. Because, and again, I'm not fearful of anything. If anything did happen, my wife's health is first and foremost. So I'd have to work through anything that comes our way. We have to work through. But again, I just wish it was under normal circumstances that we were here. I just got Fox News on. I'm looking at some of the headlines they're putting up. So again, we start tomorrow. So we're going to try to do some live episodes, maybe starting tomorrow. We'll see how she feels. My wife's a little nervous tonight. She's just taking a shower now and just laying down. We do have the dogs with us, and so that'll be a comfort for her. But so we'll come back on tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, evening, see how she feels, and let you know kind of what the first session was like, what the day was like, and she wants to give some of her feedback to help others that may be going through this, getting ready to go through this themselves. So, but I also wanted to touch on some of the headlines. I'm here on the Drudge Report, and there's things just out here in Virginia. I think they're getting ready. If they may already have canceled, some of the largest counties in Virginia are around the outskirts of Washington D.C. here, and they're talking about closing the schools down here. Also closing some of the major community colleges and things of that nature. I know some people that work at one of the largest community colleges, and they're all talking about posting, going all online, like online learning, for at least 2 weeks, starting maybe early next week. So we'll see how that plays out. So again, they're talking about canceling sporting events where they're playing in front of no fans or very few fans. Stocks are going up and down. I mean, down again today. I don't know what they closed at today, but yesterday they were up. The day before they were down 1,000 points. China's harvesting organs from Muslim prisoners. Oh wow, I didn't see that. Most Americans will likely be exposed to this. They're talking about so many things that are just scaring people. You're seeing some of the things on the news where people are fighting over toilet paper and other things. You know, people are just not prepared. The media, I don't think, is really helping. I think they're using more scare tactics. And if you want to know, I wanted to save this maybe for a live, but we could talk about it on a live. Also mention it here. My view and my thoughts on this whole thing is that you had all these things against Trump leading up to all the way up to the impeachment that the Democrats have brought forward, and nothing has been able to stick. I mean, they've tried everything, and it's not just our own, the Democrats here in the United States. We're talking about a global effort to get rid of a sitting president. And so when all that failed, I think, and then events kind of just fell into place, and I believe deep down inside that this virus, this Chinese virus, was not an accident. It wasn't just something that sprung up naturally. Let's put it that way. And so there's so much they could do with this now, where now the economy was doing great. Now it has a chance of maybe tanking. Who knows if they start shutting down venues and colleges and schools, and it has a rippling effect that could ripple through. People have to stay home from their jobs, and they can't go to work. You have to telecommute. There's some jobs you can't telecommute. You got to be there physically. So I'm worried in that regard that this is another way, another hand that they can deal Donald Trump in trying to get him to look very bad, to do very, very bad before the November elections, and then to say, see, we told you you need to vote for us. We could fix all this that's going on. I think that's happening. I think it's happening on a really big scale. Lives to these people don't matter, so don't listen to what they say about the deaths and that they really care. I think overall, the people pulling the strings, they don't give two craps about anything but staying in power or getting back in power. So that's just my thoughts on this. You might have some other thoughts. Feel free to chime in the comment section. I'm curious to see what other people think. I just don't think this happened coincidentally. You had Trump beating down China's door on trade. You have China maybe to get back at Trump for putting them in a corner about trade. Maybe they release this or put this out there, and now it's a global pandemic. It's just everything just fell into place too quick. The impeachment ended. Everybody went silent. Trump did his national address. Nancy Pelosi ripped up the speech. Boom. All this was brewing in the background for several months. They weren't covering it, and now they got it. Boom. They have their next. The next thing they could use against a sitting president. So, and this could be something that hurts everybody, which again I don't think they care about. So, with that, I think I'll save some of my other thoughts for the live session, and to get you guys to chime in on it too. But I think that for those people that may be watching this that haven't been preparing for an event, a large scale event like this, a pandemic, I think you made a terrible mistake. Is there still time? Yes, you could still put together preps. I think that now people are going to start to panic. Now we're going to see panic buying. We're going to see things on back order. We're going to see things that you can't get or hard to get. We're going to see people going berserk and fighting and jostling for to get items like toilet paper. Well, toilet paper is not going to do you any good if you don't have water or food or, I mean, yeah, you need toilet paper, but come on, you're going to kill each other over a roll of toilet paper? We ordered just some extra stuff on Amazon, and I think normally takes a day or two. It took about 2 weeks, I think, it just came today to our house, toilet paper and paper towel. I already have a big stock, but I wanted to order some more just to see how long it was gonna take, and it took up to 2 weeks for it to get here. So whatever this is, however it was made, however it was released, I'm not saying it's not dangerous or it's not killing people. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I believe it was a planned release. I do think that, and there's many other people that think that as well. And the Chinese are working very hard with our media to make themselves look good and make themselves look like they're not the bad guys, and the media goes right along with them because they have them in their pocket. So it's channels like this and other channels that talk about, what people think is really going on behind the scenes, and that's just something that I believe happened, and I believe it could be detrimental. Trump is going to go on in a few minutes. I'm sure he's going to roll out some kind of major plan or something to offset some of the detrimental things that have been happening or that are predicted to happen. And so I just, Germany saying 70% will be infected. Germany, Angela Merkel, what has she done for her country? What has she done for her people? Name one thing that Angela Merkel did for the Germans that is good, besides bringing hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of migrants, giving them benefits and money, the same thing we've done. What has she done for her country? Now they're saying 70% of their people might be infected. You've got Erdogan in Turkey basically declaring war on Greece, where he's sending waves of migrants in and pushing them in and forcing them into Greece and to come in. Now Greece is calling on other countries to help them, and we could see a powder keg right there as well. I think he even sent some of his jets over. So there's so much going on in the world, and with this pandemic going on at the same time, things are like a powder keg. Things can really explode. We can go to bed one night and wake up the next morning, and I've said this probably in hundreds of my videos, if you go back and look, that you're going to wake up one morning and the United States that you knew when you went to bed that night before is not going to be the same country when you wake up that day. And we're getting very close to that point where that could happen. And this is a catalyst that can make this happen. And so let's see what rolls out tonight. After Trump, I may do another video to see what he's saying, but I want to get this up there. God bless. Take care. Stay ready. We'll keep you posted on my wife's treatment, and we'll go live also. Thanks for watching. Stay ready. Anthony signing off.